iPad mini 6th generation is finally here, and in this video I wanted to talk about why I think it's the most exciting product that Apple announced today and why I'm upgrading from the 5th generation iPad mini. So let's get into it. How's it going, y'all? It has been Aqua. Thank you for joining me today. So finally, after 2 years, there is a proper refresh of the iPad mini, one of my favorite Apple devices that they have ever made. The 5th generation iPad mini right here has served me incredibly well for the past couple of years. So the fact that they released this new model, which has an all-screen design, which kind of looks basically like a tiny iPad Pro, I think that's a huge game changer for this amazingly versatile and incredibly portable and just freaking adorable device. But I love that this new iPad mini finally has the full screen display with no home button, and instead there's a Touch ID button on the top of the iPad, which I'm really looking forward to using. The Touch ID on the top of the iPad I think makes more sense than having this giant button down here, because your hand is already on the device and it's just really easy to just go over here and just press a button instead of trying to find this huge home button down here. The new iPad mini also features an 8.3-inch liquid retina display, which features True Tone, P3 wide color, and basically that means that the screen is going to look amazing and incredibly accurate when you're doing photo editing and video editing and that kind of stuff, watching videos. So that's gonna be a welcome change for sure, even though the screen on the 5th generation mini looks really good to me as well. You know, colors and stuff are incredibly vivid on this machine, but it's not the brightest screen in the world. And when I'm watching certain videos on this mini, sometimes dark areas in videos and stuff look kind of dark gray instead of a true black. The new iPad mini will also have Apple Pencil 2 support, which I am really looking forward to using as well, because Apple Pencil 2 will charge on the side of the iPad mini. If you're using an older Apple Pencil with the iPad mini 5th generation, it doesn't clamp to the side or anything. You just have to store it somewhere else because it doesn't have that magnetic capability. Apple is also showcasing the new A15 bionic chip in the iPad mini 6th generation, which has a 6-core GPU, gives you up to 40% faster performance, as well as a 5-core GPU for up to 80% faster graphics. And that'll really come in handy if you're playing a lot of games on your iPad mini, or if you're doing something like photo editing or video editing or something. And because the new A15 Bionic processor is so efficient, it'll also give you all-day battery life. The battery life in the 5th generation iPad mini is still really awesome. I don't really have a lot of issues with it running out after a few hours or anything. And I can still say that after 2 years, I get a full day of usage out of the iPad mini's battery, depending on what I'm doing. Like if I'm doing video editing or something, it'll only last a few hours. But if I'm just doing normal browsing and that kind of stuff on the mini, I mean, it seems to last all day. The new iPhone 13 lineup also uses the new A15 Bionic chip, so the new iPad mini will also be just as fast as those new iPhones as well. And the 5th generation mini, I think actually is still a very fast device in 2021, but it does feel a little bit sluggish compared to the M1 chip especially, which just blazes through everything. The new iPad mini also supports Wi-Fi 6 in addition to 5G, which means that your Wi-Fi connection will be even faster and more stable. And I'm really excited to see that the new iPad mini also supports a USB-C connection on the side, which means charging will be more universal with other USB-C peripherals and stuff, but then you'll also be able to use the USB-C connector to plug in external USB music devices or USB drives and stuff like that. You can still do that with this previous generation iPad mini, but you need some type of dongle or something so that you can plug a camera into it or an SD card or something. The cameras on the iPad mini have also been upgraded, including an ultra-wide camera on the front of the iPad. The front-facing camera also supports center stage, so if you're in a Zoom call or FaceTime or something, it'll actually follow you around. And the front-facing camera is actually pretty decent on the 5th gen, but the better ultra-wide camera in the front with center stage on the new iPad mini, I think that'll be really, really awesome to use. The wide camera on the back of the iPad mini also has a new 12 megapixel sensor with focus pixels and a large aperture, which means your photos will look better, especially in low light. You can also use that camera to record in 4K at different frame rates, which is a very welcome addition. And the camera also has cinematic video stabilization, so you could actually probably vlog with the iPad mini. The photos also have smart HDR3, and there's even a True Tone flash on the back. So the 5th gen iPad mini has this little camera over here, and it's decent, but it kind of sucks, especially in low light, and there's no flash or anything there. So having better cameras on the rear and on the front of the iPad mini 6 I think is gonna be really, really fun. And I don't really take that many photos on my iPads anyway, but it is nice sometimes to take a quick, picture of something when you're out and about. The new iPad mini also has stereo speakers, and I can say that after using this iPad mini 5th generation for 2 years, this 5th generation does not have stereo speakers, and it just has these speakers on the bottom of the machine. So they sound decent, but once you use a stereo speaker device such as the iPad Pro, it just sounds so much better, sounds so much more full. The iPad mini comes in 4 colors, with the new ones being pink, purple, and starlight. I went ahead and pre-ordered a purple one because I really liked the way the purple iMac looks, like the newer one with the M1 chip that came out. That purple iMac looks stunning in person. So some of you may be wondering, if you already have the 5th generation iPad mini, should you upgrade to the 6th generation iPad mini? And I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. Yes, you should absolutely get it because it has a brand new design, it has new cameras, it has stereo speakers, it has a better display, it's faster, it has that new A15 bionic chip, it has better everything, and it feels like a substantial upgrade versus the iPad mini 5. It doesn't feel incremental this time around. The iPad mini 6 really feels like they put in a lot of new features into the iPad mini tiny frame, and they're still charging the same amount that they charged before for the base model, 64GB model, which was $499. So to me, it's a no-brainer. Definitely get the new iPad mini 6th generation if you have the previous generation. But I will also say that the 5th generation works really well still. I don't really have a lot of issues with it other than the stuff I mentioned in this video. None of that stuff is really a deal breaker because I still love using the 5th generation iPad mini. And after using this machine for 2 years, I also really appreciate that it's bigger than an iPhone, but it's also smaller than an iPad Pro. So the iPad mini just has that form factor that you can fit in one hand. It's very convenient to take around, if you're traveling a lot or when you're on the couch and you don't want like a giant screen or a tiny iPhone. It's that perfect size in between the iPhone and the iPad Pro. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Are you getting the new iPad mini 6th generation? Which color are you getting? Or are you sticking with your current iPad mini 5th generation? I'd love to see y'all down in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button on your way out and subscribe if you're not already. And also add me on social media at B3NAQUA. That's my Twitter, that's my Instagram. I'm trying to get better at Twitter, so please follow me on Twitter. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.